Hi, I'm Jackie, and today I'm going to share with you what we have coming up next for Ladies' Night at New Testament Church. This fall, we've been going through the study of 2 Timothy and unpacking what it means to be entrusted with the gospel. One component of this entrusting is to know the gospel, and another is to know and increase our giftings to use them to spread the gospel. But knowing your story and your giftings can be challenging in the midst of real life happening around you every single minute of every single day. In a world where there seems more and more distractions that can keep us busy, it becomes hard to carve out space and time to reflect on life, God's work in our story, our giftings, and how they can be used right now where you are to impact others' lives. Do you believe your story and your giftings are meant to be used right now, right where you are? I do, and I want to invite you to come along on a learning journey to see what it looks like to take the time to understand your story in light of the gospel and God's gifts and callings to you in the season that you find yourself in. We will dive into why God asks us to remember and try out some tools that help us to recall important or significant places, times, and people in our lives. We will dive into why God asks us to assess our experiences and our giftings and use both to write out a vision statement and a set of values to help in staying committed to and effective in living out God's calling right where we are now or for what He has in store for us in the future. We'll examine some writing styles and some organization structures and themes that can be used to shape your testimony into a snapshot for sharing God's glory and love with the people God places in your paths. And lastly, we'll practice what it feels like and looks like to use our story, our giftings, and our conversations as powerful tools to be connected and effective in sharing the gospel, the increasing of our giftings, and the impacting of lives around us. In Mark 6, in the midst of the disciples scrambling to figure out how to feed the crowd around them, Jesus asks them, "Well, what do you have?" To which it seems maybe they just stared at him because there's no answer recorded. They had just told him they didn't have enough resources for the circumstances at hand. So Jesus moved on and commanded them, "Go and see what you do have." Sometimes in the midst of busyness, or especially during times of transitioning into a new season, it's hard to remember what we have. Sometimes we see need in front of us and we say, "Jesus, could you do something about this?" But what if we have what it takes to do this something because He is living in us? What if it is seemingly hidden inside our testimony and our giftings? What if we have looked and only seen 2 loaves and 5 fish, but there's really enough to feed 5,000? So come along with me as I lead you on a journey to go and see what you have. And then in the seeing, ask God to give you vision and miracles to multiply those things for the glory of God and the love of His people. Each night, you'll want to bring a Bible, a journal, or a notebook, and bravery to step into a couple hours of letting yourself go and see what God has given you and that which He wants to multiply to increase His blessing and impact on the earth, that which He has entrusted to you. This 5-week study will begin Thursday, November 9th at 6 p.m. at New Testament Church. Any ladies 16 and up are welcome to join us.